Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to Tallahassee.
Mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, crossover to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shally-oo, pretty girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Beat the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie? It's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Buckets. I'm Matt. He's Vish. She's Melissa. How we doing tonight, guys? Melissa, how we feeling?
We got some new picks for the Wall of Fame. Gonna update. This is from a while ago, but I figured I'd update the one of some of the 6-string teams. That's Jazz from the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And then we actually have a legit photo of us now that I didn't have to crop. Look at that.
Yeah,
I actually got one printed bigger, but the lovely UPS decided to bend the package that says "Do not bend photos enclosed." So all of the bigger photos I got printed all got creased.
Damn.
So we're waiting on a redo for those. But what's up, guys? What's up, Vish?
I have seen some things tonight. I am straight from the Capital One Arena where the Wizards allegedly play basketball.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it was the Pacers who beat them by, I think, but finally it was 53. We're up by 60 plus most of the second half. And spent the last 2 minutes intentionally getting shot clock violations and refusing to shoot. This is an NBA game. Set a franchise record for points and a franchise record for made three-pointers.
It's because they traded their best Kyle Kuzma. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it was something else. Keyshawn was injured, didn't play, which was I was there for a work outing, but I was like, hey, I could watch Keyshawn play. I did not get to see Keyshawn play. Although maybe, if I find out he's healthy, I'll just walk over there and go watch a game, since apparently you can go sit on the court for like $5 because there was no one there. So at least that's what I could see from my eagle eye vantage. So
yeah, I remember me and my father went to a game when I was in like college or high school. I don't remember. And it was $40 to sit in the first row, like behind the basket. They were playing the Hawks, so I got to see my guy Josh Smith play.
Yeah, this is gonna be it was I was at almost all of the men's and women's home games this year. This was up there.
You went to the game to see Keyshawn play, and then
I mean, I went for a work thing and I was like, well, bonus, we had a work outing and decided to do a Wizards game. Also, I was like the only one that like watches a lot of hoops there, so I'm like, 83 points and a half is a lot, people. I should look up if that's a record. The Pacers' record was 86, so they didn't beat it. The
men's team even score 83 points in a game this year.
I mean, they'd give up. I mean, they could do 83 in a college half, actually. That men's team, they have 117 in a 40-minute game, so they've got it in them. But anyway, that's what I was doing this evening. So yeah, I'm fresh off some horrible basketball.
What's up, Bill?
Which is my steady state at this point, is what I've been consuming this year.
No, you guys should ask Bill about his new obsession. His new player obsession.
Oh boy.
Real quick, before we get into hoops, I want to shout out friend of the show, Moose. He sent me this signed Andre Johnson jersey. Check that out. And it's like a brand new jersey. It still has the tag on it. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Well, I have a picture with Andre Johnson.
so do I.
I know. I'm joking. That's why I said it.
But yeah, so shout out to our guy Moose. Thanks for the jersey. Much appreciated. Was waiting for us to do a pod so that I could get that in there. I was like, nobody wants to Latvian nuts.
All right. You guys can take that to the private chat you already are having and not do that on the show. Anyway,
I think that's to me because Bill commented about a player and I'm like, is he Serbian? And he was like, no, Latvian. And it was a whole conversation.
Anyway, plenty of roster spots available. So I forgot what we decided already. Is it men or women we're doing first?
Women.
Okay. All right, I guess I'll do a recap here. So we've had some players hit the portal. Leah Harmon.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we don't have a lot of players left.
Well, we do have the 5 freshmen coming. As far as I know, none of them have tried to renege. So we do have. This is very different from the men who we're going to talk about in a bit, who don't have a recruiting class either. But yeah, we have 5 freshmen coming in. Anae Adams, and right now Lamaya hasn't declared yet, has she?
Lamaya hasn't officially declared, but she did post a thank you Miami video on Instagram. So it's giving I'm leaving vibes.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
I mean, I'd be shocked. We all kind of talked about be shocked if she stayed, given her usage this year and the need for her skill set, and she still didn't play. So right now it looks like Anae Adams is staying. Be surprised if she left, but Leah Harmon's in the portal, Aurora Almon's in the portal. So the outstanding, assuming Lamaya, looks like she's going to enter the portal. So then it's Daniela Albis and Simone Pellish, or in addition to Anae, 3 returning players, 5 incoming freshmen, and then question marks abound. And keeping in mind 2 of those 3 players, Simone got injured in the preseason, didn't play this year.
A broken finger. It's not like a crazy serious. It's not like an ACL or something. She broke her finger, and so. Yeah,
I'm more talking just in terms of experience. Then you got 5 freshmen. Simone hasn't played yet.
Yeah.
So Daniela got hurt after playing a bit this year, but she had previous experience because she transferred in, so she's got some actual college experience.
I gotta shout out Leah Harmon and family. We had Leah on the show before she started at Miami in last offseason. And her mom also follows me on Instagram and messaged me after I posted about her transferring and thanked us for all the support, the show. So shout out to the Harmon family. Definitely will be following Leah's journey. I was hoping to make the Final Four and get a 42 jersey. So that unfortunately won't happen like I had promised. But no, we wish Leah luck and, friend of the show. So, and she picked Chick-fil-A, so, special place.
Yeah, I don't think we want to run through the list of people that pick Chick-fil-A at this point. Look, wish her the best. Kind of, in my opinion, it's understandable. When we talked about this last offseason, those 3 players, her, Simone, and Anae, committed to Katie Meyer, not the current staff. So it's kind of understandable that. It's surprising none of them tried to immediately go somewhere else. But it's understandable that after a year, if it doesn't feel right, it isn't what they committed to. So no knock on Trisha or anything.
Leah's playing time dropped off. Anae was a significant contributor. She was almost like the 6th man, basically, off the bench. So it's not a surprise to me that as of now she's staying. So we'll see what happens with the rest. Everybody else were seniors that didn't have eligibility left. So we'll see. Colup's going to have to add some vet players because right now we're super young, but top 10 recruiting class coming in. So hopefully she can keep building on that. And in a few years have, some sophomores and juniors and seniors that have grown up in her system and can, lead us.
Yeah. Next year's looking to be a little rough again. As a growing year,
but in her first season as coach, she got a top 10 recruiting class. So it does give you a little bit of hope. She can recruit. Now we just have to see have her. Can she bring in players that fits her system? Because the system that we had, it didn't really mesh. I mean, obviously she did a great job of bringing in the transfers that she did because she basically had to rebuild the team. So she did a great job doing that. But we had a lot of games that we were in positions to win that didn't go our way for reasons we've talked about. So we got to see if we can fix those issues and hopefully keep stacking those recruiting classes.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting offseason. Obviously, we do expect Lamaya to officially enter the portal. We don't know about Daniela, but if she also goes, it is really Anae the only one that has any college experience on the roster right now.
I'm curious if they'll give Daniela a red shirt because that injury happened in the non-conference.
Well, I thought she was a junior anyway. She has eligibility left.
She has eligibility left, but I'm wondering if they'll give her that red shirt to give her that extra year. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
How many games did she play?
I mean, Jalen Blackman's trying to get an extra year because he only played 20 games or whatever. So, so if he gets one, then all bets are off. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Top middle right there, easily viewable.
Nice.
It's a good photo. It's my favorite of the photos.
Yeah,
I took down
8 games.
I had to take down this cropped one.
She played 8 games, you said, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, potentially.
I saw something on Twitter that it's like if it's less than 12. I don't know if that's somebody just making it up.
Percentage of games. It's 30. I think it's 30%. I want to say.
Out of how many did we play?
That's what I was trying to find real quick.
I mean, nothing in the postseason. Either way, she still has eligibility left.
Team brought us a Buckets reunion, so I am grateful for them because that was a fun few days in San Fran, hanging with you guys.
We played 31 games.
Math.
Wait, hold on. That was men.
I thought it was it 29?
29.
Someone calculate.
27.5% is 8 out of 29.
There you go.
You cheated. You used a calculator.
Huh? I used
cheated. I know you cheated.
Bro, I haven't taken a math class since high school.
I'm Indian. I was doing the math in my head, and then you just cheated.
I'm not a math person. I'm a science person.
He doesn't need a calculator. He is the calculator.
The hell?
Yeah,
Salted.
It's been a while since I've taken a math class.
Anyway, so
my mom says good night. She knows we're doing a pod, and she's like, "I know you're doing a pod. Good night." She's sorry.
Anyway, so I guess what do you think? So knowing that we're bringing in a recruiting class, I mean, so women's basketball is very different from men's in that outside of a few freshmen, they generally don't make much of an impact as players don't leave early. It's much more like men's used to be like 30 years ago where, we're going to have this guy for 3 years at least. And like you kind of, so I mean, what would your approach? Obviously we don't have names or anything. I'm not expecting you to name names. So we know Anae is 99.9% the start. No, but I mean, I'm just saying flat out 99.9% the starting point guard next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the 5 starters. Who like what's a good mix? Let's assume everyone that hasn't left yet still sings. So Daniela, Simone, Anae. Anae, I think, is definitely starting next year. She even spot started this year when we had a lot of seniors. So
Simone's a wing. She's 6 feet though. So I mean, in my head, I envisioned her going up against Jasmine in practice. Like that's how I kind of equate them. Obviously, she didn't play at all last year, so I'm not sure. I'd say of our 5 freshmen coming in, I think Camille Williams could give us significant minutes, whether it's starting or off the bench. She's really, really good.
Yep. No, she's one of the best players in the country. So she is that type of freshman. Yeah, that can make a
top 30 player. She just was like the state of Texas like player of the year or something. Obviously we need to portal for bigs.
Well, so that's my question. Like, so was kind of what I was getting at. So, what would you overall attack in terms of, where are you more comfortable playing younger players? Do we think Daniela can be the starting center?
She's not tall enough. I think she could be the starting 4. I think she has the athleticism to be a 4. I would worry about starting her at 5 because I think it would be another issue of us just being too small, like we were in the backcourt.
The funny thing is, we were big in the front court.
Yeah, it just didn't work though. Like,
well, nothing worked.
The team didn't mesh. Like coach did a great job bringing in really good players. It just didn't work, and then we were super short in the backcourt, and like guards were just killing us shooting over the top. We need some taller guards, and we need bigs. I think Daniela could start for us. I just think she's a 4. I don't think she's a 5, unless you move her to the 5 sometimes when you're resting our other starter. I don't think she's your main 5, in my opinion. That's just what I feel. I think Camille Williams could easily be a starter at the 2. But I do think you need to bring in a veteran guard or 2, and I think you need to obviously you need some vets on this team. You can't roll with like 1 or 2 and then have 5 freshmen and a couple of sophomores. Like that's just not how it works.
Well, it's not only 5 freshmen. It's one of the sophomores is coming off of a major injury. The other one never played.
Yeah,
Daniela, because Daniela's injury was serious. She missed like most of the season. So you basically got that. So
yeah,
I guess my another kind of sub question to that, and Matt, you're free to answer as well. Is at what point, because last year was the second year in a row where we turned a lot of the team over in the portal. We were a year removed from Katie Meyer's last team was we did have a good base. We had a much more solid base at that point because we had Kyla and Z and Tasha and Jasmine and Jalea and Lachey. So we did have like a lot more coming back experience, but we also hit the portal hard that year with a bunch of 1-year types. We did that again last year. I mean, is there a point where, and this question is to both of you, where you would kind of just say, look, the short-termism, let's just let these freshmen play. We'll get some seniors, some locker room people, but I'm not really focused on next season.
If you're gonna do that, where you say I want to get the young people, freshmen, sophomores, a lot of playing time, hit the portal and get people like them. Get some other younger players out of the portal and just develop the whole team. Maybe bring in 1 or 2 junior or senior guards, but if you want to go the route of next season's going to be another building, developmental year, then bring in other younger players like them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it would be beneficial to still bring in someone that is, or bring in 1 or 2 people that are, maybe 1 year or 2 year people just for the experience, the leadership, right? Some people that have had like multiple years playing college basketball. But I think that once you get to the point where you're adding 5 or 6 people that only have 1 year of eligibility and you're kind of going the same route every year, it's just kind of different with women's basketball. It's maybe something you can do in men's, but I think it's different. That there's more of a development factor in this side.
And I also think because the ACC, going off what Matt said, because the ACC is so top heavy usually, it does help to have some veteran presence. But I would love to bring in maybe like someone who has to redshirt a year and then play 2 years, so they're like a redshirt junior. So that way they still have 2 years of eligibility left. I mean, obviously we can't be picky. Like we need players. We're gonna need, especially bigs. So. I mean, we're obviously in a way better position with the women than we are with the men because of the recruiting aspect of it and the class that Cullip team has put together.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the men in a minute, but I guess for me, I almost am like, look, what's our ceiling next year anyway? It's not high. So the last thing I want to do, because I can visualize this happening. You go for the quick fix again. You get a bunch of seniors in here. Even if obviously it was a disaster this year. There's a lot of reasons for that, and there's no point rehashing it. But like it went horribly wrong. We missed the ACC tournament. Like it's hard to justify the moves saying that they worked, right? But we tried that again, and even if it works, let's say we finish top 10 in the ACC, the amount of time we'd have to play that quality of player to get us to that point, which is kind of middle of the conference, means that a lot of these freshmen aren't playing, which means a lot of them are going to hit the portal, which means we're doing this again. So I think we got to pick a strategy here. If we're trying to build through recruiting, which as Melissa said, first year in here, top 10 recruiting class, highest in school history. There's something there.
And
that's
a few
the
of those
plan.
players in that class, I think, have a chance to give significant minutes next year. Camille Williams and also Natalie Wetzel, who also was like a state champion in soccer also. Both of them are like top 50, top 60 players.
Yeah, no, I'm not, but that's my point. Like, even with that, if you're going to start them or play them significant minutes from game one, that's a strategy, and you understand they're going to struggle some. I mean, we saw it with Anae this year, who we're all really high on, right? She had her ups and downs, and towards the end of the year really started to wear it down. And if we're going to play 5 of that, we're going to see some stuff, right? And if you're not going to do that and you're going to hit the portal and try to get more, more veteran players, you have to play them. And then do we end up in, a situation where at the end of the year, regardless of the result, right? Even if, like I said, we finish top 10 in the ACC, we maybe a bubble team where the freshmen that didn't get the playing time they were hoping for leave. And then you're doing that every year. Because, look, at this point, we don't know what's happening with Simone. Leah Harmon was the highest rated recruit in last year's class. She's gone. So I almost feel like we need to pick a strategy, which we've been trying to either blend or certainly in the men we've been trying to blend both things at once. They don't necessarily fit together unless you get like maybe Camille Williams is one of those. The problem is we don't have a rest of the team. So, like, there are definitely freshmen. I mean, we saw with Hannah Hidalgo 2 years ago as a true freshman. Like, that girl's out of her fucking mind. Like, this person's awesome. Like, she can play right now and start for every team in the country, right? And Camille Williams is that good. I mean, I don't want to put that on her. It's a lot to add. But when you're trying to do that with 5 players, then it's a different story. And I feel like it's a hard problem. I don't know if there's a right answer. But it's hard to blend that.
Speaking of star players that have come in as freshmen and taken over women's basketball, prayers up to Juju Watkins. That girl's been lighting it up for USC, and she tore her ACL. So that sucks. Sorry to bring the mood down. Just had to mention her.
I mean, we were talking about our women's basketball team that finished 6th.
Hidalgo, so I was like, it reminded me of Juju.
Right. But I mean, Hannah Hidalgo shows that a freshman, she's running point too, can come into this conference and fit right in. But she's joining a team of veterans that already know. Now, if you're putting that already know how to play, and like, oh, she was like a missing piece to elevate.
Yeah.
Whereas we're building from scratch, so trying to also bring in a bunch of new players and integrate your new freshmen with these new seniors too that haven't been here.
It's kind of like what Shane Larkin did.
No, but we had those other guys were in the program.
That's what I'm saying. We had a bunch of players.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
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 Like that.
Yeah, and frankly, us going and getting a bunch of players in the portal now with experience is not really dissimilar to what we did last year. We had a couple of holdovers. We had Jasmine, and we had Lamaya coming back from an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And Aurora hadn't played, but she was still she was on the team this year. We got Anae. We got Daniela coming back from an injury, and we got Simone, who's on the roster but hasn't played. And I feel like
we're Cavender twins out there that are going to return.
No, but even beyond that, you didn't have to be that specific player, right? If you go and bring in a bunch of 1-year players that need to play, that means your freshmen aren't playing, and that didn't work at all this year. Doesn't mean that, but to me, I'm like, you know what? I don't really care what the record is. This recruiting class.
I think if you bring in like 2 or 3, and then you maybe bring in some younger players from the portal also that can grow with the rest of the team, since the team's going to be new anyway with 5 freshmen, and that way you have a big chunk that would stay over to the following year, assuming, I mean, the transfer portal changes things, but I don't expect all 5 of these incoming freshmen to be ready to play next year. I think maybe 2 of them or 3 of them, but I don't think all of them will be.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine risking it. I think we have a low ceiling next year anyway.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean, if
rather
that's
them
the
get experience.
expectation, then play them all. Let them all get experience, and then bring in people that also have more than a year of eligibility left, and let them all grow together. So then in the year after, you're in a much better situation. Because I mean, yeah, this team this year was like basically all 1-year rentals.
4 of the starters, right?
All 5 of the starters.
No, Jasmine wasn't.
Well, Jasmine was in her last year also, so they were
But,
all.
like,
yeah, but that.
I mean,
but
you said 1 year
she'd been-
rentals.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hannah and Haley, it's technically their second year with the team. There was just but yeah, no.
Little blip there in the middle. Yeah, no, it's not an easy problem to solve, and I think everyone wants a quick fix, and neither of these programs are anywhere close to that. And I think we just need to. It's like you're boarding an 18-hour flight. Just sit there. It's going to be a long time. You're in a middle seat and coach. Just deal with it.
For 7 hours to catch a red eye.
Oof.
You're middle seat and coach on a long haul flight. You're just going to have to deal with it and understand the pain is coming. Hopefully you land in the right airport at the end of it. That's where we're at.
So
anyway,
yeah,
it's
kind of an unknown. We'll kind of see the direction once we see who Kulip brings in.
Yeah, and we still don't know who all is still here because Simone and Daniela could definitely leave. They haven't yet, and I'm hoping they don't. But
Lamaya technically hasn't either, but
if you're saying she posted a goodbye, thank you Miami video,
no, it just said thank you Miami, and it was like a little rerun of the season. So I mean, the writing's on the wall there. But if she stays, hey, I'd love it. She was my favorite player a year ago before she tore her ACL.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I feel like we did the let's get a bunch of people in here that, on paper. And I mean, we're talking about, players from Michigan and Notre Dame, 2 of our own players back into the fold, Mississippi State. So it wasn't like we went and, pulled people out of programs that weren't good, and it just did not work at all.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit reluctant to do something similar again. At some point, you just gotta be like, look, we're gonna stink, and that's okay. If you're building something. Speaking of stinking, the men. So let's see. Since our last, basically everyone's in the portal, but Divine and AJ. So Jaleel, Austin, and Jobay portaled.
Even the walk on.
I mean, that's just. I think that's paperwork.
You know who also back in the portal? Nwoko.
Oh yeah, Michael Nwoko's back in the portal. So is AJ Casey.
Let's not waste airtime on them.
Why? Get the band back together. Get Casey and Nwoko back in here. That's your front court.
Well, I will say, not that this matters, but when they announced the portal entering for Jaleel and Austin, both of them said that they're still going to keep Miami as an option. I doubt that they come back to Miami, but.
So I've been on the record and fully understand that I expect AJ and Divine to be here next year. I don't want any of them back. I just want to start over. Same thing I said with the women, but even more extreme because there's literally no one on the roster here. We don't have a top 10 recruiting class with 5 players. We got nothing.
We had 2 recruiting class that left.
Yeah, so there is no recruiting class. And yeah, there's 2 players. Jalen Blackman entered the portal and is trying to get a hardship extra eligibility, which if they're going to do that,
do we get a waiver for watching? Do we get a hardship waiver? Does Vish get a hardship waiver?
I don't know, man. I still have some eligibility left. It's been 20 years since I've been in college, but what the hell?
No, I'm saying for watching this team.
I mean, I should get hazard pay or something, man. I got to read like the federal statutes on that. I feel workman's comp or something is due for this. But I just. First of all, if Jalen Blackman gets another year, then they might as well just give everyone a 5th year because he's played more than 20 or more games every year of his career. There's literally no excuse for that. He left the team like very late this season. Just walked away, which again, whatever, but like there's no, but if he gets that extra year, then I guess everyone has 5 years at the point. But yeah, no, I don't really want to. I think, putting it diplomatically, all of these kids can benefit from a change of scenery, and there is 0 point in them coming back here. They've all picked up bad habits. Look, the Coach L obviously owns a lot of the blame for all of this. He assembled his team and then he quit on it in the middle of the season. That's factual. But they were essentially uncoached. They are raw. They don't know how to play basketball. On a week-by-week, game-by-game basis, you see some of the most atrocious, idiotic basketball. And I just think trying to coach that out of them in a situation where the whole team is new is a bad idea. These kids need to individually go into better situations with more established players and learn how to play properly. But bringing back any of these kids and having to be a main player on whatever the hell we're able to roll out on the court next year is a terrible idea. I would tell them all, if I was Jay Lucas, I'd tell them all, you all have to leave. You're not allowed back. Go somewhere else and start over. But even if we don't, there's only 2 left. So it's almost a distinction without a difference. So we have the whole roster open essentially because we have a Division II level point guard and a wing player that maybe is on the end of your bench. So that's what's left on the roster. So what? Same question with a much bigger mess because we don't have the option of relying on our freshman class to do some of the heavy lifting here. I mean, what do we even do here? There's literally no one left.
Matt.
I mean,
I don't know.
I feel yeah.
I mean, it's almost like a video game where they like give you a blank roster and you can fantasy draft like random players. It's like, what is this? Like, there's literally no one here.
There's been talk about a couple high school recruits. I don't know if we want to actually talk. Yeah.
Go ahead. Name names. I don't give a shit.
Dante Allen. He's a 4-star like combo guard. And then Shelton, Shelton Anderson, who I think he's still a Duke like commit. So there's been talk about them too.
So what are the rules? Sorry, not to interrupt. What are the rules on? I know if your coach leaves, you get like 30 days to like you can just get out of your commitment, which is what all of our players build. But Duke players can't get out of their commitment, right?
I don't know if he.
Can he just enter the transfer portal?
I think he would have to ask to be released from.
Yeah, I don't think you can because he's not technically on the team. He can't transfer when he's enrolled.
But I mean, I think I feel like of recent now that those get approved a lot more by teams.
Yeah, they'd have to be released.
Yeah.
But again, you'd really have to want to. I really don't want to be at Duke. I'd rather be on the worst team in the ACC. You'd really have to want that.
Yeah.
Where there's like a secondary market of, there are a lot of jobs where the coaches changed over, where those players are essentially out of their commitments.
Yeah, but I mean, the one thing is that I mean, Jay Lucas was his like lead recruiter too, so he was the one that he talked to the most, I believe. So there is that as well. But I wanted to talk about Dante Allen because he's actually going to visit Miami.
On the 12th.
On the 12th. And he's someone that I watched film on him. He's impressive. I really like the way he plays. Good scorer, well-rounded game. Like highly intelligent guy, just looking to make all the right plays to win. I think he would be a really big add. And someone that could make an impact in his first year, which is something we would probably need depending on who we add in the portal. So I think he would be a big add. I don't know if we really want to talk about Shelton Henderson since he's not even, released from his from his. I don't even know if he's still signed or whatever, but I haven't kept up with it just because it's all, rumors and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, if you can add 2 high school guys, you might as well.
Well, yeah, I think we got to go. It's like a full court press, like wherever you can get dudes.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I mean, the 2 players. Like I said, the two players we have on the roster are not anyone you're building anything around. So you really got to go. Wow, we're celebrating that fact. So you really got to go hard at like anyone, and yeah, high school players can be your building blocks.
Who is this person Bill's talking about? I haven't heard this name.
It's a oh shit, what happened to my screen? I forget where he's from. Bill, if you can put where he's from. Is
this a Latvian guy?
No, I think it's the dude that's a shooter. Damn, he was committed. Oh, Bosnian.
Oh, it's the guy. It was the guy that was committed to IU, and then he's because Mike Woodson retired. He's technically free to leave.
Yeah, I honestly haven't watched film on him. I just know he's a shooter, strapped up. I think he shot like 50% from 3. So, I mean, that'd be nice to have. I just haven't watched film on him yet. So
what do you guys like? We talked about what we would want from like the women's team as far as who we would want in the transfer portal. Obviously, we have more players coming in already for the women, but like, what do you want to see from the men as far as who we bring in, or just like this is like bring in whoever because we don't have anybody?
I mean, hypothetically, we have if we get these 3 high school recruits, let's just say for whatever reason, and Divine and AJ, so that's like 5 guys. So we still have to bring in a ton of guys.
At this point, you just bring in whoever you can because there's literally nobody.
Well, yeah, and I think you try to get guys that can be here for multiple years, but you got to do what you got to do.
You got. I think in a way it's similar. You got to get off this treadmill of 1 year guys. So I think I'm targeting freshmen that didn't play a lot last year that are pissed off about it. That's who I'm more targeting for. I frankly don't care about their upside or their pedigree. We need dudes that know how to play basketball. I can't unsee the things I've seen this year. Yeah. And while I'm totally on board with going after these high level, commits that are getting out, like you mentioned, decommitted from IU, that are getting out for whatever reason are able to get out of their commitments. I'm definitely on board that. Those are future building blocks. I am not going for one and done guys that we have to give a ton of minutes to, that are seniors that are looking to, I'm not going to class. I'm here to play basketball types. Like that's not good for anyone.
I wonder who you're
anyone out specific. I didn't name names, but I mean, that's just not good for anyone. And I'd rather take less talented kids that are going to work hard and practice hard and play smart. And actually, even if that, lowers the talent level of the team in the short term, to me, ultimately, we've got to reset here. You can't just keep bringing in like 5 random dudes that have never played together, that have been coached differently, slap them together and expect it to be anything other than a disaster. We've done that this year. It didn't work. And the problem is we don't have, unlike the women, we don't have the option of let's just lean on the freshmen. We don't have any right now. And from what I saw from both AJ and Divine, they have a lot of work to do in terms of basketball IQ. Just all sorts of stuff that on other teams where the other players knew what they're doing would have stood out so. I
think one of them has more work to do than the other.
I think one of them's more of a natural basketball player, but he's still pulling up and taking step back 3-pointers from like the logo. And it needs to stop. Again, I can't unsee the shit I've seen this year. And it's just, I have trauma. And I would rather just say, hey, we don't have the dogs, but they're playing hard and they're practicing and, they're learning how to, so that the guys that follow up after them, because Jay Lucas is a recruiter, right? That's his strength. when he brings in those next classes, when he's got the full year to recruit, that they're now they're coming into a program that's stabilized, where we do things correctly for them to grow into. Because what's here right now is atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. We had the coach quit in the middle of the season. We had people walking out of the program, transferring in the middle of the season just to get that. We couldn't keep a kid from going to Iowa from Miami in the winter. Like, this is, I don't think people realize.
He got fired.
He got fired. I don't think people realize what we're, like, the level we fell to. Like, I didn't watch, like, Louisville 2 years ago or whatever that closely to know if it was this bad, like, in terms of the turmoil. But Coach L quitting in the middle of the season made it way worse because there was zero stability around the program. These people have been leaderless for 4 months. And so now, and then we hire a coach that has zero experience on top of that, trying to fix it. It's going to be messy again.
Yeah.
This isn't even
back on something.
You can push back on everything. I'm just giving opinions. Go for it.
Yeah, no.
What are you talking about?
So the one thing I will say is it is possible to do it with transfers and 1 year guys that are only here for 1 year if you have the right coach. And the thing about hiring a guy with no head coaching experience is we don't know if he can do that. And I think it's unfair to expect him to do that, right? So that's my biggest thing moving forward. I mean, like you said, Louisville did it in year 1 with Pat Kelsey, but I mean, that's a guy that has been doing it at the mid-major level, and was able to do that in his first year at Louisville. But it's possible, but it could also, blow up, like you said. So it's one thing to do it with a coach that knows what he's doing and has been proven, but it's another thing to do it with someone that has no experience at all. So we have to have realistic expectations and whatnot. And I mean, the other thing too is that even if we do bring in these guys with multiple years of experience or multiple years of eligibility, do they buy into what he wants to do? Do they stick around? Because you're recruiting every day your guys that are currently on your roster. Other teams are reaching out throughout the year. Are you able to develop those guys and they see progress in their game and they believe in your mission, your culture, and they're willing to stick around? So it's all things that we have to see. So
he's known for recruiting, so we'll see what happens.
And so, first of all, like, all we're seeing is Miami reached out rumors and Miami's interested rumors, which, year 3 of this, I'm kind of just numb to it. Whether we're interested or not, everyone names us because we have money and it's a good way to get there. And actually, Coach L talked about this in his going away press conference, where he'd be talking to kids and they would basically lie. Oh yeah, I have this much money and that much money, and so you have to match it. And he knew they were lying. Like, go take it then, and then they'd end up, getting a tenth of it, but from somewhere else. But we are the school that all these people use to negotiate with other schools. So you got to take anything. If they're visiting campus or something, that's different. But just like, oh yeah, I have 10 schools interested. And they always throw Miami in there because that's where the money comes in. So be a little bit. And again, I mean, I've been on the record on this. I know no one wants to hear this. I expect to be complete shit again next year. And so I'm not going to get up or down based on, this is a change for me from the last 2 years. Based on, oh, we got this recruit. Like, I don't think it matters, to be honest. This is I hear what Matt's saying about, like, someone can do it in 1 year. I don't think we can do it in 1 year. I don't think this program is capable of that. And I think one of the bigger mistakes Coach L made on his way out was repeatedly thinking he could band-aid something that needed to be started over. And our history has been really good teams and then a cycle of down to get back up, even under Coach L. This was that Elite Eight Final Four was the first time we actually had back-to-back good teams, or teams of that level. And between the other ones, we had like these distinct cycles of, okay, we're not as good anymore. And then we came back. And he kind of tried to, probably because he knew he was, running out of time, He tried to quick fix that, and I think that's where we're at now. I don't know that works for us. We're not a basketball school. I know people don't want to hear some of these things. Louisville is. Like, that is a legitimate wins national championships basketball school. That should not be shit like they were. We, on the other hand, no one outside of us is like, what happened to Miami basketball? No one cares. And so for us, it is very important that we lay the foundation correctly, because that external force that lifts up programs that need to compete is just not there. And it's never going to be. And I know people don't want to hear that. We really do have to. I mean, we were never going to fire Frank Haith. We were totally cool with him never going over 500 in the ACC. Missouri came and hired him. He was never getting fired.
Al wouldn't have gotten hired either if he hadn't reached out to Miami.
Yeah, but I mean, that also could have gone wrong, right? I mean, he ended up being, obviously we're going to name a bunch of shit on campus after him, but like that, but forget the hire, because I truly, whatever we've certainly been a little bit more critical of the hire than other people. Whatever we think of it, I do think the school legitimately thinks this is the way to win. Like, I don't think they're in there being like, this wasn't like a backroom deal to do someone a solid. I think they think, hey, this is the way that we're going to compete. Do we think it would have been smarter to get someone more experience? We all three have not been shy about saying that, but it's not in that context, like in the hiring where they're like, who cares? We'll just give a crony a job or something. That's not at all what happened here. But if we stink, is there pressure to rehabilitate it? Probably not. Like, I think he'll get 4 or 5 years here before anything happens, even if we're horrible.
It's going to take a few years for us to be decent anyway. It's not about NIL money. It's about hiring the right coach, honestly. We just hired a guy that had no head coaching experience. So I don't know how anyone expects us to think we're going to be amazing next year, even with whoever we recruit. It's very unknown.
We've also, we've had NIL money. We've been spending it. That waste of space Lynn Kidd was very expensive. So, but we tried to keep our Final Four center on the roster and pay him a ton of money. And he didn't leave for more money. He got the hell out of there because it was a disaster. And while the money, you need the money to get a seat at the table. It's not the differentiator. And if we're sitting there saying, like, we're going to go and sit at the table with Duke and Carolina and Connecticut, and we're all going to put the same check down, and they're going to pick Miami to the point that enough pick Miami where we're now Duke and we're now running out. And I just don't buy it. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to have the next Cooper Flag dunking on people here next year and we're in the Final Four. I'd love to have that. I just don't see the line of sight to that because we've never been that program. Our better teams are the ones that took a lot of time to gel, where we had guys that have been with the program a while, at least as the foundation, even if there were, some people in the portal and some not. We at least, like, you had your Isaiah Wongs. I mean, how long was Angel Rodriguez? He and Sheldon McClellan struggled, then finally made the Sweet 16 their senior year, right? And you remember the end, you don't remember the beginning. And I think it's just, I think we're the amount of players we'd have to buy, it would need to be like blue chips, man. We're just, all right, we're going to get Shaq and we're going to get Penny and Matt Nova randomly, but Shaq and Penny. And so I think if the idea is we're going to out recruit Duke and Kentucky and North Carolina, you're going to have to add an extra zero to our NIL budget to that. Like, it's not that money. They're putting out the same money, if not more. If we spent no money, we'd be dead in the water. I think you think we're going to buy a bunch of players and bring them in. To me, that's ignorant. I don't see that happening. Like, I don't think Cooper Flag went to Duke for the bag. Went to Duke because it's Duke. Everyone would have given him that money. That's not the differentiator. And I think we need to just recognize that NIL allows us to compete for players, period. It's actually kind of the opposite of football. In football, we also have a ton of money, but people want to go to Miami and play football. Like, you think Mario's getting guys at Oregon before NIL. He knows how to recruit. He's got a big program behind it. So I don't know. I think if you think we're just gonna we're just gonna out recruit everyone and we're gonna come out there with the Fab Five, I think you're completely.
The logo is not going to recruit itself in basketball like it does in football.
And also too,
the program both got to prove we can win, and then if we have the money available, then maybe we can sit down at the table. But it's
Sorry,
not
go ahead, Matt.
NIL. No one wants to go to a program and win 6 games in a season.
That's a real.
yeah.
That's actually what we did.
I mean, the other thing too is like that I feel like
Also,
people
we were
are constantly
3-0.
overlooking, and we just don't know is if he can coach. Because I mean, you look like this isn't. I'm trying not to say negative of anything about. Okay, I mean, Rutgers had the number 4 recruiting class. They bring in Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper, and didn't even make the NCAA tournament. Like, just because you have talent doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate to team success, right? It's all about fit. It's all about adjusting to your personnel. It's all about coaching, putting your players in positions where they can be successful. And we just have to see if he can do that. Even if he does get all these guys that are highly talented, if that happens, you know?
I expect him to be able to recruit, but there's a difference between being able to recruit and saying we're going to run an NBA team out there so the rest doesn't matter, which seems to be what a lot of our fan base thinks. To me, that's just completely not paying attention to anything happening. I mean, Calipari got run out of Kentucky. It wasn't because they stopped bringing the talent in. That was Kentucky. I've told the story on the show before. When I went to Rupp Arena, they have these little postage stamp-sized banners like dotting the arena, and you realize those are their national championship banners. Like, they could put them all on our Final Four banner, our one banner. That program was like, we're struggling a little bit here. I mean, let's be real. The goal of this program is to probably 3 out of 4 years make the NCAA tournament, and maybe 1 year get to the second weekend. To me, over a 4-year period, that is a very successful run. It actually, if we look up the numbers, would be one of the best in school history. That's where we are, and that's okay. And I think people just need to, like Matt said, it's going to be let's see if he can coach. But if he actually can't, we're going to stink. Like, I hope people realize that. You can't recruit your way out of that. Like, we're going to be really bad if he can't. Now, we don't know that he can't. We're all saying there's a huge caveat there.
Yeah, we're just saying we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But because people keep taking it out of context. Like, how do you? We don't know. That's the problem. But if you think, it's just going to recruit his way out of this, in football you can, in basketball you can't. Especially because basketball's like, you can get away with like 3 good players, and the rest can just be role players and kind of replacement parts. And you can still, if you're well coached and have a good system, you can still do things. So we'll see. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fascinating to see how we even get a roster, get a team, like a roster of players out there to play games next year. This has got to be pretty. This is kind of what Arkansas went through last year. We were just couldn't hold practices because there's no players on the team. So we're there now.
And they barely beat this team.
Are you saying that we're gonna make the Sweet 16, maybe the Elite 8? Is that what you're saying, Fish?
I'm saying if we had John Calipari, maybe.
It's pretty crazy how bad they were at the beginning of the season, and then
I know we held a lead for much of that game.
We almost beat them.
So we also still had Nigel. Then we were a little bit. I don't think people realize whatever the hell happened there. Actually, I haven't seen him officially put his name in the portal for a medical, but losing him was the domino effect of that happening, and the player that we chose to give all of his minutes to. I don't think that's worth 5 wins. Seriously. the drop off. So we still wouldn't have been good, but those are the types of things that happen when you hit rock bottom. And he was still playing then. So
All right, let's move on.
should we do my Coach L segment real quick? So for those that haven't been watching Coach L's Twitter, he's doing these
Timeout things.
timeout thing where he poses a question and asks you to choose an option. So I'm gonna play one out. You in the chat can play along as well. And we're gonna discuss what we do in this situation. Let's see if this plays okay. And then after that, stay tuned for some NBA grid.
Yay! NBA grid.
All right, hopefully you can hear this.
We need a timeout. If you were the coach, which option would you choose, A or B? Here's the scenario. Your best player has been out for 3 weeks with a sprained ankle, but the team has played very well and has gone 5-1 in his absence. You're now playing the team in first place. You are 1 game behind them in the standings, but he's now ready to play. Which option do you choose? A, bring him off the bench, or B, start him? Please let me know in comments which option you would choose, A or B.
Let's take a time with the acting coach.
He's posted a lot of scenarios.
He's doing one every day.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's enjoyed his retirement. Good on Coach, man.
All right, Vish. Bill says
Bill came in would start him. I'm with Bill, man. You gotta get the talent on the court. I'll here's the asterisk I put by it. If you're in the tournament or something, I don't think you start him. Because I think you're taking too big of a risk trying to reincorporate a player in the middle of that situation. You gotta let him play off the bench a little bit. But if it's the middle of the season, I don't care if the team's in first place. Get his ass out on the court and start him. Matt?
You go first, Melissa.
I mean, just here's my thing. Starting somebody and playing starters minutes is 2 completely different things. So you can ease him in and let him see the flow of the game and then put him in at like the under 16 timeout and he can still play 30 minutes. And just see how let the team play how they've been playing and then slowly work him in and he can still play starters minutes.
So you're saying bring him off the bench?
Yeah.
I'm with Melissa. Just because. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, just because, I mean, team's on a run. They're playing well. Guys have taken on roles that maybe they haven't been used to. I think it's the best way transitionally to bring them back. You see how it goes. I mean, could play 30 minutes, could play starting minutes, or could play 10 or 15. Bring them back slowly.
I think you put the talent on the court always. Figure it out from there. The funny thing is Coach L never says what he would do in his let's take a timeout video.
Because he's probably genuinely asking.
Matthew Bridges.
What would you do? Not play any of the players you're playing.
I mean,
it'd be funny. What if
he answered that question for us and how he coached the beginning of the season though, because he brought Matthew Cleveland off the bench.
True, he did. Yeah. But yeah, I guess we weren't on a roll though ever. So
we did win our first 3 games.
We did. We were 3-0. I still can't. We were getting votes in the polls when we were heading to Charleston for that tournament, and we were heavy favorites to win that. The coach retired like a month later. Jeez, what a wild ride!
His next one is going to be like, "What do? You have a 5-star guard, and he won't rebound."
Oh my god!
Do you A?
Play the person with the highest turnover margin in school history.
6'4" center that's stat padding. Sorry, 6'4" and 2/3.
Do you ask a prospective?
You retired.
Do you ask a prospective recruit you're trying to bring in what he's gonna major in, and then not bring him in when he says, "I ain't going to class. I'm here to basketball." Is that a red flag?
Let's move on to NBA grid.
Yeah, it's been a long while ride to this point. Let us move on to. I think we're doing hoop grids. It looks like.
Yeah, let me bring it up again.
Yep, I have got it up on the screen.
I thought I had it up already. Oh, here it is.
I thought I had it up on the screen. What is this? Why is it blank? Oop, there, now we're back. Okay, hold on. Let me try again. Hoop grid. There we go. All right, we have the grid of hoop. So, for those new to the show, this is one of our off-season traditions where
Off-season content.
where we play NBA grid, or in this case, hoop grid. So, we will be entering players into the boxes that played on both the teams corresponding to that box, and the more obscure, I guess, technically the less points you get, and that's a good thing because you want a rarity
We want
score.
the lowest percentage.
Yeah.
I did a speed round one this morning. They have like you have to do it in 2 minutes, and then it just automatically gets submitted.
Okay.
I didn't do too bad. My highest was a 5%.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
thought I took a
for the
picture.
audio
of it, but that's
listeners, we've got Brooklyn, the Clippers, and the Spurs across the top, and then the Knicks, OKC, and the Suns down the bottom.
And just to
So-
be clear, for some reason there's a Panera Bread ad on my screen, and
Oh,
that's
delete
offensive
that.
to everyone.
Yeah, delete it.
I don't want to click X because who knows what pops up at that point on these things, but there is a Panera
Well,
Bread
it
ad.
can't be worse than Panera. Like, what are we talking about?
Could be
Oh,
whatever.
it's another. Oh, see, that's better. It's a smaller Panera.
I didn't touch it.
Alright,
It just
So also, for those of you who are unfamiliar with our NBA grid content, Matt is like 99% of this.
there's now a bloating gas ad. What the hell is
Nasir
this?
Muhammad and Anthony Tolliver.
I was gonna say I think Nazir Mohammed would fit in one because I think he played. Didn't he play for?
All right, are we
I'm gonna fill it in mine, and then I'll tell you, Vish.
so we're
Because
cheating.
he
fully,
played
okay.
for the Spurs for sure, and then he played for the Knicks, I think, too. And
Yeah, no,
he
he's
played for
definitely
OKC.
yeah, he could go in multiples.
He could go in multiple, but wait, hold on. Before you
He's
do any,
2.24 for the Spurs and Knicks. That's too high.
What about Spurs and Thunder?
yeah, the Spurs and Thunder.
Oh wait, I have to.
Oh, this isn't one where you can undo.
I don't know if I could pick the same.
You can
one
pick
twice.
another over.
I have to.
Oh, but if you guess him again, you have to you have to leave and.
Give up. Okay. Hold on. Clear grid. Okay. Nasir Mohammed. 2.44.
Nah. Got to come back stronger than that. Okay, I got one though. I thought of one when we were talking at the intro for the Suns and the Spurs, because I think he played for both of them. Hito Turkoglu.
1.05.
Do
That's
it.
good enough. That's good.
And
enough.
also,
Yeah,
it
that's
tells you
enough.
how many possible answers there are when you
That
click
must
on
be
it.
new.
Yeah. See, 39 possible players.
Does it actually start filling on age? This is stupid. Unless they're all right. Never mind. I think it's fine. Anyway, there's Hito
Yay.
in his Magic
The legend.
jersey.
Who was the other one I had thought of? Oh, Nets and Knicks. Keith Van Horn.
Hmm.
0.54.
Let's go.
And
I'm
that's
back.
a great picture of him, by the way.
It's the it's the
Knicks
the
and
Nets. Knicks and Nets.
Nets, Knicks.
Oh, Vish, your guy. We talked about him.
My guy.
Suns and Nets. Stromile Swift.
I mean, that's got to be like so little.
Come on.
0.13.
Let's go, dude.
Who is Stromile Swift? There's
You don't know Stromile Swift?
Come on, LSU legend.
Wait, is
Was
this
he-
someone you guys mentioned in the chat the other day?
Yeah.
So the guys
He-
the other day were like went through this thing where they were just naming obscure NBA players.
Look, man, Olden Polonese is not obscure.
Oh, dude, my dad caught his headband at Summer League. That was legendary. Oh, Clippers. So I don't know why I used to follow the Clippers a lot, but Clippers
Did you live
and
in
I
Los
think he played for the
Angeles?
Sonics. Yeah. Well, I'm a Laker fan, so
Yeah, but still, they're
Chris
there.
Wilcox.
Will he count? Did he actually play for the Thunder?
0.2.
Does that count? All right, yes, that counts.
And no photo. That's
Well,
how
because it's the
obscure some of these
Sonics.
are, is they don't have a photo.
No, I know, but I didn't know if they counted, like if it actually had to be on the Thunder as the franchise or not. But
Did what's his name play for the Clippers? Pablo Prigioni. That's gonna be too high though. Or is he just I know he played for the Rockets and Knicks, I think.
Who am I looking up?
Oh, he did play for the Clippers. Look up Pablo Prigioni for Knicks and Clippers.
2.14.
Too high. Damn it. Let's go. Who is the center that? Oh, what was the European fucking name? For Nets and I think he played for the Sonic. Or no, it was OKC at the time. Maybe Kristich. Just type in Krist. It's like Nenad Kristic. I don't know how you.
I need spelling because that wasn't coming out.
Nenad. Try that. As the first name.
N-E-N-A. Oh, Nenad Chris. Oh, there's no I. It's just K-R-S.
Oh, really? Oh shit.
1%.
There we go.
Which
Add it,
which
Vish.
box is this?
OKC
Okay,
and
in Brooklyn.
so we need.
For those of you new, this is when Matt is in his element. He is the NBA historian.
I don't know about that.
Compared to me and Vish. Did you watch the episode when me and Vish tried to do it on our own?
Oh man,
We
that
got
would have been
through it.
so. That would have been tough. Next, no, he didn't play for the Spurs. Suns, no.
Oh, snap.
What happened?
Camille Williams has requested to follow me on Instagram.
Wow.
I guess
Next week's guest will be Camille
she
Williams.
follows our buckets page. So I think I'm gonna try and get her on the show. Confirm.
That's what I'm about to say.
Um.
Next week's guest.
Oh, no, he played for the Grizzlies. No, he played for the Bulls. That wasn't. I was trying to think of I thought our guy might have fit here, Vish. Mike
Which
Sweet-
guy?
Mike
Anthony
Sweet-
Tolliver and Nazir.
No, Mike Sweetney.
Mike Sweetney is our guy. Why is he our guy?
Yeah, the night I mentioned him yesterday.
Did you? I don't know. We named so many dudes.
Wow, how could you just forget?
I don't know. I don't even remember Hurricanes obscure centers that played half a year here.
Didn't? Oh no, that wouldn't have been. I mean, Matt Barnes played for the Knicks and the Clippers, and Baron Davis, those are gonna be too high. Quinn Richardson, didn't he play for the?
He would be.
I feel like that's gonna be high too.
Yeah, that'll be high. But he would be Clips and
Who am I trying?
Did Channing Frye play for the Clippers towards the? Or no, he played for. No, he didn't play for the Clippers at the end of his year, did he? Oh man, why is the Clippers Knicks one killing me right now? What about? Would have been. Did Kurt Thomas play for the Clippers? Melissa?
Ooh,
Kurt Thomas?
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Heat legend.
Nope.
Oh, he played for this. Oh, that would be 2. Yeah, that would be too popular. Because he played for the Spurs. But that was like try Kurt Thomas for Spurs and
Knicks?
Knicks.
Oh shit. There it went.
3.67.
Wow. I'm gonna have to give me a minute.
Type
Let
them
me see if
all
I can
in again.
restore. Well, let me see if I can restore though.
Yeah, I don't have our answer saved. I already refreshed the grid.
Well, we'll I'll get them.
I can go back on YouTube and find the live feed.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
He's
I
locked
am
in.
I'm good at what I do.
I'm gonna need your help, Vish, with the Knicks one. I can't.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
stuck.
It's called to the bullpen to do with the 15 ERA. All right, here we go. Which one is it? It's Knicks and who?
Knicks.
Oh,
Well,
man,
just the Knicks. I'm trying to think of.
showed up. It's so hard to get obscure Knicks players because they turn every fourth string freaking 12th man into like.
I know. That's why I'm.
So everyone's heard of all their players.
Oh. Wait, is it Knicks and Suns? Oh, damn it! I had one for Knicks and Suns. Fuck.
So yeah, it's got to be Clips or yeah, Spurs.
I'm DMing Camille Williams.
Yeah, get on that.
Go ahead. Do it. I wonder how many possible answers there are because your boy does not.
I guess we start if we click, it tells us, right? So there's 71 for Clippers Knicks, 36 for. Wait, what?
What about what's his name? He played on Wilson Chandler. He was on the Knicks. He got drafted by them and he played on the Clippers towards the end of his career. What's that at?
1.05.
Oh, thank God.
Also, I got
That's
a text
the one
bubble. There's a text
that-
bubble.
That is Knicks and Clips.
Knicks and Clips, yeah.
Oh yeah. So we need Knicks and Spurs though. This will
Knicks
be
and Spurs.
Did I wonder if
Melissa, try Knicks and Spurs. Try Charlie Ward. Didn't he play on the Spurs briefly? I know he played on the Knicks. Although I'm loath to put a Florida State Heisman Trophy.
1.07.
Oh, there we go.
I feel like this is dirty to put a.
You got to do it though. Just do it.
I was like, oh, another reason to hate this guy. It's on the Spurs too now. We got OKC and San
A very
Antonio.
long text bubble going on here.
What you told her to come on the show?
I told her that I see her liking our tweets and that she's welcome on the pod and congratulated her on an amazing high school career.
CCH is in the chat. Yeah, Chris Paul will be way too high, man.
For who?
Spurs Thunder.
Oh yeah. We want the obscure one.
And what's the damn word on Nigel Pack? Is he staying or not? I don't think he has eligibility left, to be honest. But
He's gonna get it.
if he gets it, I think he actually might be here because he didn't portal.
I don't think he's gonna be here, to be honest.
I don't know. He stayed with the team the whole year for no reason. He was there on senior day cheering on the team.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
was
he's just
celebrating.
I think he's a good teammate.
Maybe. He's also got to meet the, might have to do with what he thinks of the new coach.
Yeah.
But if he likes being in Miami, then he's a Canes legend.
So we need Spurs and
OKC.
What is she typing?
I think once they touch the bubble, like even if they don't, doesn't mean they're actively typing.
She's probably just so flustered she doesn't know.
I mean, who wouldn't want to come on our show?
I mean, she don't crack. Come on now. She ain't flustered.
Should I ask her if she likes Chick-fil-A or Popeyes before I...
No, that's
No.
illegal.
You cheating for?
No, I was going to say, if she likes Chick-fil-A, you guys might not want her on the show.
No, we want her on the show.
Well, we got 2 more. I tried it.
You think?
For both.
Hey, do you think Malik Rose is too big for OKC San Antonio?
That probably will work.
It's weird. It's not coming up with a percent, but the name popped up.
Oh, maybe you were the first one.
Should I give it a shot? It's gonna break the grid if I.
Let me.
But it'll make it like 0.0 something if I do and shoot.
Let me clear and try this again. 0.56.
She was the
do
first
it.
one.
There's no photo.
Yeah, no. There's no photo for Malik Rose. He was
Oh, now it just changed to 1.67.
It's because we keep answering it now. Well, mine's 0.57. I don't know. Whatever.
It refreshed and.
So now we
I
just
don't
need
care. It's Suns and Clips.
Clippers. Well, I know Quentin Richardson would fit there, right? But that's going to be a big one.
Let's just try it. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah, you never know.
What Canes Cat Seeds? Canes Cat Seeds. This isn't the baseball show.
What do we make of the Texas Associated randomly following me on IG Tam? I don't follow him. I don't know. Ask Josh White.
What is it?
We got 1 more.
All right, Clippers and Suns, right?
Yep.
Oof. Didn't Turkoglu play for the Suns too? Or am I imagining? No, it was Kings.
We can't reuse, right?
I know. I was just. Did Garrett Temple play for the Suns? Can you try that?
Hold on, this isn't
He
working at the moment.
He also played for the Wizards. That's your team, Fish.
Who am I
Oh
trying?
my god.
Who am I trying?
Garrett Temple.
Nope.
Damn. Did Cole Aldrich play for the Suns?
Also, Hedo Turkoglu is 0.98%.
I mean, we already used them. We can't use 2.
I know.
Yeah. We already used the GOAT, unfortunately. I mean, Jared Dudley.
I feel like that's too high, but
1.6 for.
are we locking that in?
Can I see if I can think of another one? Give me like a minute. It's either Dudley or. Damn. Come on, I should know some Clippers that like. Brian Cook. Did Reggie Evans play for the?
I mean, I have one, but I kind of cheated because I thought about it and then I Googled it to confirm it worked. But
I just thought of one for OKC and the Clippers too. Ryan Gomes. I know he played. Damn.
So just for shits and giggles, for Clippers and Suns,
0.15.
Ryan Gomes. Damn. For Clippers and Suns, put Rodney Rogers.
Who?
Wake Forest legend.
Nope. But
No.
change the middle one. Put in Ryan Gomes.
I can't. Can I change it?
Yeah, you can put in a new one.
Put in the middle.
Yeah.
Center square. Is this gonna be worse after 2 people have it right now? No. Okay, we're still in 0.15.
Did fucking Rasul Butler?
You're saying Rodney it's Clips and Suns, right? You're saying Rodney Rogers didn't come up in Clips Suns?
No. First of all, shout out Camille Williams because she's been watching the show because she just wrote me a whole paragraph about everything we talked about earlier.
We're not putting Chris Paul in. You're telling me Rodney Rogers didn't hit on Clips and Suns?
Oh, I got one for Clippers and Suns. Brian Skinner. That has to be there. Come on. That little.
0.3.
All right, before we do that, I gotta check my answer and then I'll switch it because I can switch it, right?
Yeah.
Because how did this not come up? Yeah, 0.28.
There we go.
Melissa's gaslighting.
What?
Rodney Rogers.
Then I clicked it under the wrong one. I must have clicked it under the wrong one.
She's busy.
I'm remembering all these like freaking players that were like legends in college when I was growing up that no one ever heard of again. But like that guy actually carved out an NBA career.
Oh my God! Lipscomb star forward Jacob Nosovich is entering the portal.
Oh shit!
We
Get
need
on
him.
that.
Bro,
Film breakdown coming tomorrow, guys.
Don't be showing her DMs on the air, man. This is on fucking worldwide
No, I'm
YouTube.
just like, look, you can't read it, but look, I mean.
Well, I can't read it when you do it there. When you hold it right up to the camera.
No one can read it. She's well spoken. I love it. Our next guest, hopefully.
Oh, what the heck? Texas Tech and Arkansas is in OT? Damn.
Tech, Melissa, Tech. You're not watching.
I'm doing a show. Important things. Do we have a final thoughts?
I mean, who's more likely to beat Florida is the who we're cheering for in that game?
Texas Tech.
Okay, that's who we cheer for.
I think. I mean, yeah.
We need Florida to lose. Our recruits aren't coming back, my friends.
Nope.
There is a final thought, you said?
Yes, I do have a final thoughts. Today's final thoughts are shout out to former Miami assistant head coach Chris Caputo going up against Boise State this Monday. He's got his George Washington team in the CBI tourney. Got a big game against Boise State. So good luck to him. Must be nice to be playing some postseason basketball. Gotta love it.
This Kane's Cat team. Kane's Cat team pulls up late and just like floods the chat.
He's just talking to himself.
Hold on. Kane's Cat Heat. Your chatting is the equivalent of Cuvée trying to throw to first. He'll know the reference.
All right, next show is.
Yeah, and we finished dead last in the ACC, dog.
Next show is, I don't know. Are we doing a show next week? What's today? Thursday. Are we doing a show next week?
You never know where the universe will take us.
Wait, and why stop it? I'm wishing him hopes. Like, where's game? Like, what do we do?
He didn't say stop. He said, "Come on, man."
He said, "Stop it." Look at the last comment.
Oh.
All right, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good night, man. I
Thanks
don't
for
know what you're
watching.
doing, but whatever.
Shout out to future Canes player Camille Williams for watching our show. Make sure y'all.
Yeah, our next show seriously might be around her schedule, so
hopefully we can
stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that.
But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. There will be more NBA grids, so make sure you brush up on your NBA history because this is all off season. We don't do Mount Rushmores during the off season. We do NBA
But
grids.
we do Mount Rushmores too, but not every show.
There's none. Yeah, when we need filler. When we need
Yeah,
filler.
no, there will be. We're definitely doing, I guess, hoops grid now every show. But we might throw in an NBA grid or two. Throw your in the comments or under this. Not that I read the comments, but someone will read the comments. If you have a good idea for Mount Rushmore, Trashmore, throw that in the comments too.
Yeah. And side note, they finished 7th in the A10, so you're wrong on something again. Sorry, man.
Cue the Sox outro.
Don't cry.
We get buckets.
Keep it chill.
Yeah, baby.
Wear good socks.
Buckets.